0 hour.
Hey, all right, it says we're live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the April 19th edition of the 0 Hour. I am here with my partner in crime down here, Mr. Half-Ass Ready, down there, yep. And our special guest, Chance Paladin. Look, I actually pointed the right way this time. You will get the hang of this one of these days. So, Chance, in case you guys aren't familiar with Chance, tell us a little bit about yourself so the rest know what's going on.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm an author. I wrote books. I wrote a newbie prepper book, and I wrote an apocalypse fiction series, and I've made video games, and just all around try to not be freaking useless. And I homestead on top of that, and I work in IT, which is terrible. There you go.
Well, it's a good thing you work in IT.
Someone's
J-Man, good to see you. PJ, good to see you. Rabbit JS Genesis. There's Mr. Hudson Valley himself. Good to see you, Mike.
0 hour.
All right.
I love
Vision Preparedness. Boy, I tell you what, we're famous tonight.
Yeah, we got the big guns.
There he is. Yeah.
0 hour.
Yeah, that's really close approximation there, Chance Paladin. So, but yeah, I'm glad Chance talking about your video game.
Oh
stuff.
Yeah.
I do not play them. Okay,
It's okay
at all.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny, man. I really try to get in there and see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm about 35 seconds into your last video.
Oh, yeah.
And you started saying, blah, 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 blah. And I went, man, I got to quit, man. I had to just walk away from it.
People get mad at me because I actually just start saying blah, 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 blah. So I don't know if you're actually saying that I was saying that, because I do that also.
No, you weren't. You were actually spewing some computer stuff that I was like, man, I don't know what he's talking about. And
yeah,
but I'm hoping to absorb something from osmosis, right? If I just listen to you enough, something might stick.
Good luck.
Yeah, far, dude, I appreciate your effort, but so far, nothing, man.
If it's any consolation, the people at work try that too, and it doesn't help them either.
Yeah, see, the problem is you're on stage now with two of the most technologically handicapped people on the planet. So
this is true.
I mean, that's okay. That's you're describing my normal day.
Well, look, man, answers. Yeah, I know enough to unplug it and plug it back in, dude, and then it's over for me. So,
right.
I think the problem with technology and the problem with explaining technology in the future, not even counting the fact that AI is going to be a huge problem soon, but not quite yet, is that you got to remember the people developing our software are on the other side of the planet. Which means by the time I get it in the morning, it's already effed up. And so now I have to try to explain that to you. I don't even know what happened. They ask me what happened. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what happened? I have to figure it out too. And I have to try to explain it. I just call it spaghetti code. I don't know what happened. You're asking me?
That's funny. That is funny.
So it does sound like blah, blah, blah.
So speaking of AI, did y'all see the half marathon they ran over there?
Oh, with the robot. Yeah. I heard about it.
Did you see the half marathon? Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I read the article on it.
Again,
the robot beat the record by 7 minutes.
Let's talk about robots for a second.
Let's talk about robots.
Because the certain people aren't in the chat, but I have a feeling the second we bring this up, certain people are going to pop in the chat. There's two schools of thought with the Chinese robots. The first school of thought is that they're so far beyond us that we're already hopeless, and we may as well just start bagging them and tagging them with the green tips. Or that the whole thing is completely
That's about
fake.
where I'm at, but
Right. And it wouldn't be unreasonable for you to think that. The other half of the people think everything is fake, which, if you've seen the videos of them running them with controllers and attacking people and stuff, they definitely also look very, very fake. So I think the question is like, do you think, and let's leave this to the chat too, do you guys think that robot was remote controlled, or do you think it was running on its own or on a script or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I honestly, my thought would be that they let it run on its own program until it F's up, and then they remote fix it. That's my opinion on, and that's the case with. Look, there's tons of technology that have been out there. You know, the police use the bomb robots. The military uses the dog robots. There are tons of mine, especially hard rock mine people who use robots down in the mines.
Right.
That some are remote controlled via wire or via wireless, but that's generally the way like bomb sniffing robots work. They're working on their own software until there's a problem,
right,
or an alert or a problem. So, one second. Well, you know, we're using robots. We're using robots underwater, taking mines out over there in the Hormuz right now. So they swim already, Mikey.
But they're like submarines. Those are kind of like submarines, kind of.
But they're remote. They're remote.
They don't have arms and legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, a drone's a robot.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a robot.
I think what Mike
those drone shows, they pre-program those thousands of those drones and then hit the button, and the drones execute the program. And there's no way one dude or five dudes could fix that if something went wrong, right?
Well, sort of. So how the new ones work, at least the Skydios over here, is they work on kind of they work more like a real-time strategy game where you're kind of controlling clumps of them at a time.
Right.
And so you're right, one person couldn't do it, but maybe 25 people could do it if each one of them controlled a clump. Right. I think that's the best you could get.
But I'm sure there's a lot of AI technology in those kind of like, and like I said, it's like a fireworks show. I'll tell you the truth. All you got to do is make me go, wow. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So at opening day, over the San Francisco Bay, the Giants opening day, they had a drone, a flying drone show that was shaped like an American flag. And then they all popped pyrotechnic smoke.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tell you, dude, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. I thought, man, it made me feel patriotic. I mean, and it was in California, of all places, right? So, but I'm sure there's some AI involved in all that. I'm sure there's probably a lot of AI involved in all that.
The thing is, you need the drones have to be kind of big enough to be able to get like an AI chip on them.
Right.
And it's the same thing with all of the cameras for them to be able to maneuver. Like the second you start adding, 360 cameras on them and start adding AI on them, like the cost goes through the roof.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so the question is like, and they need to have some kind of radio on them, and they need to have loitering, and they need to have batteries.
Right.
It just gets to be exponentially more expensive. And so
sure.
If they can figure out how to do that cheaply, because even like mesh, it's like, how do you solve it? Mesh. Well, that's fine, but then they're still on frequencies.
Right.
It's
and Mike, I agree, dude. That thought did cross my mind. I'm thinking, wow, if they can do that, just what if? But
yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I've been watching thousands of videos from the Ukraine war and the the technology is moving forward at an incredible pace over there between Russia and Ukraine, and we're right in the middle of it. We have tons of guys over there who are designing and building software for these things and letting them do these things. But man, what they're doing with drones over there is absolutely terrifying. Terrifying for a grunt. Well, a tanker. You know, that's it's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. It's terrifying, man. For a soldier. I mean,
everybody's all worried about all this AI stuff, but what we see, they're 20 years ahead of what we see. Now, what we see is child's toys compared to what they really have. By the time it gets to us, it's outdated.
Yeah, I think that's kind of going back to the whole China thing. Like here, I think, DARPA has stuff that's way in the future, but I would say a lot of it's not battle tested yet. Like what's being battle tested now in Ukraine is like probably going to be the next 20 years of tech.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff like drone motherships that they keep talking about, or like the drone carriers that Iran had, like that stuff's just not battle tested. And I think the reason why is because the second it pops its head out, someone just takes it out and they're like, nope, we're not dealing with that today.
Right.
Like we're not dealing with the drone carrier. Just take it out. Next.
Yeah, that's there was a guy I was watching a guy on I think it was News Nation the other night, but he's a designer and he's working on what we were talking about with these clusters of drones where one guy can control 25 drones instead of just one.
Yeah.
And he's got some really wicked technology that he has absolutely perfected in Ukraine. And what fascinated me is the fact that capitalism works well in this domain, because now instead of a $1 million Tomahawk missile, we can send 25 $500 drones with one guy controlling them. And they have some independent programming too, so that once he gets them where they need to be, they do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But man, that's terrifying to know that economies like Honduras can now have Tomahawk type missile war capacity for the money that they have, right?
Right.
Well, basically what they do is they send the drone out, and it has a destination, and it has 3 to 5 potential targets.
Right.
And it kind of sits out there and floats around and is like, well, if I see a jet, oh, that's only 3 guys. Oh, but that guy has a radio. Ooh, is that radio worth more than that truck over there? But that truck over there might not have anything. And it'll sit and fly around, and if nobody tells it what to do, it just picks the highest value target.
Selects highest value. Yeah.
And there you go. And then
and that's what this guy, I forget the name of his company, but that's exactly what he's perfecting that software.
Yeah, and you could deny hundreds of miles of anyone ever doing anything by just constantly sending those drones over. And they can tell the difference between like a door being opened and a door being closed. And it's insane.
Yeah. And Mike has a good point there. I'm pretty sure the next update of the B-52s is it's going to drop a drone swarm.
Well,
that's the J update.
Yeah, but again, I don't know that this would have became important to the U.S. military had not we be seeing what's going on in Ukraine.
True. Yeah, exactly.
It has become extremely important to the Department of Defense since that war's been going on. And I'm glad it is, man, because honestly, we got boys in the field that are going to be seeing this stuff, right?
We have entire like forward recon drone teams, or not we, the U.S. military has like forward drone recon teams that are going to be deploying everywhere. and they're going to be able to hit things like the Marines could have only dreamed of back in the day, because you could just launch a bunch of loitering drones, leave, and then half an hour later, all the drones are like, finally they picked their best targets. But imagine doing that in like a harbor. Imagine doing that like near a fleet, or it's just like the future of war is going to be insane. Like with loitering drones and drone carriers.
Yeah, and the cost is going to go down, like Mark was saying.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But see, we had some, very little, but we had some drone stuff going on when I was in the military back in the late 80s, early 90s. But, you know, we had, I mean, look, if a drone is good for nothing but being a forward observer, one of the most dangerous jobs in the military in my day was being a forward observer to coordinate artillery and bomb strikes and air support. And if you can get a loitering drone to do that now, well, you've already freed up several soldiers, sailors or airmen or Marines, to do other combat related things. So, and we were doing that research when I was in, but man, they're, and look, the U.S., I realize we probably have some of the most high-tech drones in the world, but we're way behind on strategy. We were the same way in World War II when we went to the field with the Sherman tank. Was woefully inadequate to fight the German tanks, right? But we learned on the fly tactics to make our tanks much more deadly. Well, we are way behind on tactics on drones. But I think I say maybe 3 years ago we were behind. I think my guess is we've probably got hello V, and my guess is now we probably have quite a few guys in Ukraine who are learning very quickly.
Yeah,
I think the problem we're going to have is we're going to get caught up on tactics, which is fine. I think we're going to get destroyed by price, because that is what always kicks us in the balls. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's 155 shells or 5.56 ammo or anything that we use a lot, grenades.
Yeah.
We're just going to get hosed on price. And then how do we as a country invent enough money to somehow pay ourselves to somehow be able to produce any, like Germany just had, like World War II Germany. Yeah, they were slow and everything was amazing and they couldn't figure that out. We don't have that problem. We have the problem that everything's too expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know how we overcome, because we can't have China make our weapons munitions for us.
Right. Well, the reason it's so expensive here is because if it costs $5,000 to make a drone, we have to spend $50,000 so the politicians can pocket the other $45,000. That's a problem. It's not that the drones cost anymore. It's all the people that's got their hand in the cookie jar.
Well, that's the bureaucracy is so damn expensive here. Well, it probably is anywhere. But, you know, I tell a story, and I've probably told it here before, but all of y'all have seen the space pen, right? You know, it's a pressurized container. It writes upside down. It writes out gravity.
Yeah, they've had them since, the 80s or whatever. 70s.
Yeah, oh, no, these have been around since the mid-'60s when NASA went to this guy who worked for Cross Pen. I cannot remember his name. They go to this guy, and they said, look, we're going to give you $1 million to invent a pen that will ride in zero gravity, right? So they gave him $1 million. He invented the pen. NASA spent several $1 million buying hundreds of thousands of these pens and giving them to everybody, whether you're going to be in space or not, right? So when we get to the International Space Station, and Deke Slater was the guy, he's showing off his pen to the Russian cosmonaut, right? Check out this pen. And the Russian reaches in his pocket and pulls out a fucking pencil.
Yeah.
He said, look, this writes in zero G. It writes upside down.
Yeah.
You know, the Russians sent up a pencil. right? We spent $1 million so our boys would have an ink pen.
Yeah,
but that's the bureaucracy.
You're right. Yep.
And we've been fighting that. I'll guarantee you, Abraham Lincoln sat and bitched about the bureaucracy during the Civil War. I'll guarantee you, I know George Washington did, bitched about the bureaucracy while he was trying to fight a war. We bitch about bureaucracy a lot.
I mean, that's the lobby, the military industrial complex lobby is probably actually just going to be our worst enemy, because I can't find the article right now, but the military guy, I guess they were paying like $100,000 or something for a part. He figured out how to 3D print it in a weekend. And by the time the lobby found out, they couldn't have that because, that exorbitant, 10,000% markup, 100,000% markup is supposedly for the R&D of the next thing that we don't even know we need yet.
Right.
And it's like, why not just outfit the military with 3D printers and let them figure it out?
Yeah. And I promise you, there's some fucking Lance Corporal somewhere in some hangar that's going to figure out everything he needs with it.
It'll be solved in a weekend for like nothing.
I promise you, some 19-year-old bored friggin' Lance Corporal is going to sit down and figure out what he needs.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. We don't need military contracts. It doesn't need to go to Langley or whatever, and ran through the Pentagon. Just give him a 3D printer. Like this is stupid. Like that we have to go through this.
But we're mired in it. And it will be just like it was the Roman Empire and the Egyptian Empire and Alexander the Great's empire, the Persian Empire. It's going to be just like all of them. The bureaucracy will bring it down on our ears, and the bloat, corruption will bring it toppling down on our ears. But that's why we do what we do, Chance.
Yeah,
we all see the writing on the wall, but so we try to prepare for that.
Well, and the thing is, like, you don't have to be like Nostradamus to know what's coming. All you got to do is try to figure out what they're trying to ban this week, and then just work your way backwards. So, they're trying to ban 3D printers here because 3D printers can print no stuff. All you got to do is just work your way backwards and be like, okay, well, I guess that's the next thing I have to stock. That's the next thing they're going to try to ban. It'll be seeds again, or it'll be like whatever. It'll be gas masks or something. All you got to do, they preemptively just try to ban whichever direction they're going.
I like that, Dana. I like where you're going with that. And who knows, after the fall of the Roman Empire, when the Holy Roman Empire takes over, I'm sure that there were people, especially Christians, who thought, man, this is the greatest thing ever. The Romans are gone. And then within a couple of 100 years, they had to overthrow the Holy Roman Empire. So, I just feel like the more power anyone receives, hey, Shawnee,
what
the
if
more power any civilization receives, the more corruption they receive too. So, hello, Billy.
Because even though we're being taxed to death, I think what we have to remember is that every single other part of the process, people are bleeding every piece of the process dry. And so if there was any way to get ahead into a piece of the process, like Uber, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, just look at what happened to Uber Eats and all those ride shares. That went on for a few years. People made a lot of money, and then they just gutted it like a fish, and now you can't make anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't like the robots. Everyone thinks that like robots is, hey, you think that like robots are going to somehow wipe out or fix like the middle class? Exactly, Mike.
Yeah.
They don't want me to have a 3D printer, so I got two.
Right.
But like, you think robots are going to somehow fix the middle class? Like, no, because what's going to happen is you'll have to lease them, you'll have to rent them, you'll have to subscribe to them, and your Netflix robot is going to keep costing more and more and more money.
Yep.
And you're going to be making, as much as I hate, the whole rich getting richer thing, like this will literally be that,
Yep.
except it'll be like one person and a couple of maintenance
Outposts, go.
Hey, OBP, did you see Shawnee's filter question?
Yeah, I don't remember what you said because
she
pretty quick. But
recommendations for a countertop filter, water filter for city water.
I think it depends. So
Yeah.
what you need to do is have your city water tested and figure out what's in it, because my city water is not the same as your city water. If I was to go to the city and get water, it could be tons of bleach and nothing else in it.
Right.
And I say that even about, like, if you've got a water source you plan on using, if the grid goes down or whatever, have it tested and see what you need to do to filter it the proper way. That way you're not guessing when that time comes and you have to filter it.
But I will say this, Shawnee. Whatever you need to filter from your water, they make some very expensive countertop water filters. I have one that I paid a lot of money for, and I also have one that I built, and I've got about $50 in it, but you can build a filter to filter what you need to filter, right?
Yeah.
So
they custom make them for what you need.
Sure, and there are tons of preppers who have videos that they're making water filters.
Yep. With
2 5-gallon buckets. But again, you need to know what you want to filter. And so, Rabbit, Cody, I believe, But
the other thing you got to remember too, all that is true. The other thing is, you can going out and moving into the country does not fix any of this.
No.
All it means is, and in fact, even you can have a well right next to your neighbor. They could still be going into 2 completely different water sources and need to have 2 completely different kinds of filters. So you need your custom filter built to your well at your location, period, even if you have one next door.
Yeah.
Because each one of our neighbors has a different well with different filters.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's very true. So,
and getting it tested is super affordable. It doesn't cost hardly anything.
Well,
some counties do it for free.
Yep.
The state, North Carolina state's extension office is just down like 6 miles from where I'm sitting. They'll test it for free.
Yeah.
Bring you a bottle out, they'll test it for nothing. May take them a week before you hear from them, but they'll test the soil for anything too, for nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know every state isn't like that, but
right. Yeah, but even if they do charge it, it's usually not much. So
no,
it's
worth it.
Yeah,
especially your soil, and we're in the middle of gardening season. Now's the time before you start treating your soil the way you think it needs to be treated. You should know, because it can get expensive making soil the way you want to make it. Right.
Yeah. And I always say, if you got a water source that you plan on using, if your water source gives out, test it, see what you need to do to filter it, and then test it again to see if what you did worked.
Test your filtered water. Definitely test your filtered water.
That way, like I said, if you need to use that water source, hey, this is how I need to filter it because I've already had it tested. This works. I got it. Because like Chance said, they're all different. So what I need to filter out of my water isn't going to be what Mark needs to filter out of his or Chance needs to filter out of his. So,
yeah, it's going to be way different. Especially, I mean, we all 3 live in 3 very different sections of the country.
Yeah.
We all 3 do.
Yeah, we pretty much got a triangle around the whole thing right now. So.
Right. Yeah, we're covering a lot of the United States right here with this threesome. So,
yeah.
I think you guys brought up dirt, and that's one of my friends said it. He had like his soil tested, and they were like, to bring it up 3 pH or whatever, you'd have to dump like $1 million worth of fertilizer to bring it up. And I think if people think about that more at a macro level, making teeny tiny raised gardens that have each the kind of dirt that exactly you need for that exact thing is ludicrously like more cost affordable and controllable. Like, don't even bother trying to change your entire garden.
Yeah, I started container gardening years ago because it was look, man, I don't have to maintain a tiller or a tractor,
right?
You know, I don't have to use that fossil fuel, and it's very cost effective, and you can. Some things grow better in lower pH soil. Some things grow better in higher pH soil. You can make the soil to the plant, not to the garden.
Right. And you can keep your worms healthy and safe all year round. Never have to worry about what happened to your worms.
Yeah.
And if you have a neighbor with organic manure, you have them age it for a little bit, give them some eggs or whatever makes them happy.
Right.
Do a little bit of work for them.
Right.
Stir the manure back in, and then you're sustainable. You don't then you don't have to worry about what the Strait of Hormuz is doing this hour as to whether or not
boom.
You don't care what Ukraine's doing this hour, whether or not fertilizer is going to be triple the price. For that's not even enough to do like a piece of your garden. Like, it's brutal.
God's prepared warning. Good to see you.
Yeah, Fernando popped in. Good to see you.
But and that's the thing. And we talk about our goals as preppers, and our goal as a prepper should be to be a sustainable prepper, right? No matter what we prep, and I guarantee we say this damn near every Sunday night. No matter what happens tomorrow, let's go tomorrow because we're still kicking today. So tomorrow the world ends, and what you have is what you have, right? When you're done with those 85 5-gallon buckets of freeze-dried food, you're done. It's over. You're not resupplying that, right? You can't you can't wait for the Amazon truck to show up and bring you more. So you want to be sustainable. You want to be planting heritage seeds and planting heritage plants so you can harvest your own seeds and these sorts of things.
And if you can't grow things, maybe you live in an apartment or whatever, and you don't have the ability to grow much, hey, make friends with somebody who does. Make friends with a farmer. Set up a barter system. Even if that's, hey, I'll go do some work for you. I'll help you.
Sure.
In exchange for some produce or some beef.
Shawnee's one of the best gardeners we know.
Yeah.
And she's gardening not at her home right now.
Right.
She figured it out, right? We have to figure that out.
Well, I'll tell you what I did originally. I talked to friends until I found one that just let me put planter boxes at their house. And then I just growed stuff at their house. And then I just had, when they're watering everything else, I just had them water that too. And that way, because here's the problem. Dirt is only going up.
Right.
Forever. It's really bad. You watch the price of dirt and it's like, oh, okay, that's all they have to do to screw us. So getting your own dirt now, treating your own dirt now, even if you have to put it at someone else's house, tote prices only going up. Like, just look at this stuff now. The summer is coming up. If someone's giving totes away, see if you can find a friend's house that has property, and then you get the totes, and then you start to collect the dirt.
Yep.
Because Mike says wild game will be hunted to scarcity within a few months. Here's the problem: not only will the wild game be gone, but then the horses will be gone, the cows will be gone, then the chickens will be gone, then the dogs and the cats will be gone. And then they'll gaslight all of us and tell us that we just made the whole thing up. And then all
they would start. Unfortunately, there's still one more species that they haven't started eating yet.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, but if that'll come up too. So
But if you see the Livingston van driving around and you hear the Livingston van, and you're like, oh shit.
Well, it's gonna come through here, and I'm gonna make some deposits. Help them out a little bit. Yeah,
that's so funny.
Yeah, it actually has to come pretty close to here to get from Livingston Division. So yeah, I said just swing by on your way through, and I'll make sure there's some extra in there for y'all. So,
I mean, yeah.
Well,
I'll trade 2 arms for a leg. I think that's
if you've ever read the book, there's a series of books, but if you ever read 1 Second After and the 2 books that come afterwards, Dr. Fortune really goes into the fact that the game is going to be hunted. So he started talking about the hunting parties having to go further and further and further away from Black Mountain. And yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. And if you, and it's the same way with scrounging. It's the same way with, we all know the guy whose plan for shit hit the fan is, oh, I'm just going to take my AR-15 and go take everything I want.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that plan works for you, but you're going to have to range farther and farther and farther away from where your home base is to continue to scrounge what you need to survive. So how far can you walk in a day? How far can you walk in 3 days? How much can you carry back, right? How many calories are you expending to go get those calories? So, or whatever, medicines or whatever.
Well, so many people, I mean, this isn't talking shit. This is just reality. Like if you drop a big buck or even a big deer, like you're going to probably need something to drive it back. Like the further out it is, the more of a problem it is. And how many gates you have in between those 2 places. And I'm not just picking on Mike because I've seen him do it, but I have seen it personally where someone dropped a deer and they had 2 logging gates. And it's like, okay, now how do I get from here to there to go get the deer to bring it back here?
Right.
You're going to want as much of it as possible, potentially all the way down to the bones if you plan on making bone meal with it for fertilizer. Like sooner or later, you're going to want the whole deer.
Right.
And you need something to haul it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, yeah. And, or you're going to need a lot of people. And do you have a lot of people? Again, this is back.
And you have a way to preserve it all.
I love it, Mike. Yeah, I love it. I know. I hear that all the time.
Yep.
I hear it all the time. Hey, look, Mike, here's what I say to those people, though, all the time. I say to those people all the time. And I have, those people are in my family, okay? And they know me. They know what I am. They know what I do. I say to them all the time, at least you have a plan. It is a terrible plan.
Yes.
But you have a plan, which is more than 80% of the other people on this planet, right? They at least you have a plan. So, and once you go out to rob your neighbor and you get killed in his yard, I know how much ammunition you have in your house, and I'm going to go by your house because I know nobody's going to be there to shoot me in the ass.
It's funny. We were talking at work about that a couple of weeks ago, and the one guy, that's what he said. Well, I got guns and ammo. I just go get what I need. I thought, and I stopped. I just cut it off right there. I stopped talking. I'm like, okay.
You're like, all right.
Yep. I just let it go. I'm like, yep. I'm not even gonna tell him that that's a bad idea.
No, it's a great idea. In fact, come stop by my house first.
Yes. Yep. I have lots of stuff for you. Come on by.
I do. I'll leave stuff out in the field where you can go over there and get it.
Yep. You're going to bait them in. A little bait bin. I'm going to have a box of MREs laying right at the end of the driveway.
It's a literal loot drop just for you.
Just for you.
Just for you. Yeah, I think in the terms of preparations and having a plan, a lot of people ask what got me into all this, and it was roadblocks. And I still keep thinking, even this discussion now, it's like, what's the solution to this? It's going to be roadblocks at the end of the road. It's going to be roadblocks at the end of your subdivision. It's going to be roadblocks everywhere. And if you think that doesn't happen, it happens in the cities all the time. They just call them street lockdowns.
Yeah.
And they're with cars and gang yahoos. But those happen in rural areas too. The second shit pops off, the rural areas just erect roadblocks everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you don't live there, you're just not coming in.
Well, I'll be, and I'll eventually,
that too. Yeah. Bridges too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I will give, I was having a discussion with my neighbor today about, I purchased, and I'm going to do a series of videos on my Apocalypse truck. I purchased Apocalypse truck. Mm-hmm. And, but before I even went into that, I had to, there's things that you have to understand. So if I don't have it, because you make yourself a huge target when nobody else is moving, right? Nobody else is moving. When you start moving, everybody's going to notice, right? You're drawing a huge target on yourself. So if you don't have enough security to take that vehicle out and bring it back, then don't take the vehicle out, right? You can't take the vehicle out.
Well, you can hear the engine from a mile away, and you can feel it further out than that.
Yeah, sure. Especially when the hum of everything else stops.
Yeah, when there's nothing else going on.
Yeah, right. when there's no background noise like we're all used to now. Yeah, you're gonna be able to hear a pin drop.
Fernando, it's gonna be cool. When I get it done, it's gonna be so cool. I look, man, I have such good plans for it. And
is it like a Mad Max thing?
No, not really. Yes and no. It's an old Dodge, but it's an old Dodge. But I have a friend of mine. When I first purchased the truck, I sell car parts for a living, so I work with a lot of mechanics and body people. Anyway, I have a really good friend of mine who got so excited when I purchased this truck. It's a step-side Dodge. It's an 81. And so when I first bought the truck, he was like, oh, we're going to turn that into the Little Red Express truck, which if y'all aren't familiar with the Little Red Express truck, it was Dodge's hot rod truck from the mid-70s, had a 440 V8, beautiful red truck, pipes up over the cab. It was a really cool truck, right? And I told him, I said, no, that's not what we're doing. And so, but for months, he and I have argued about it because he's going to help me with the body work, right? So the other day, I actually printed a black and white picture and I drew the color I wanted it, and we're gonna hand make bumpers. We're gonna hand make a roll cage in the back, and it's gonna be OD green, but it's gonna be way cool. It's just gonna be, and he got really excited. so I'm like, yeah, cool. I got him on board. But it's the 6-cylinder truck. You got to think about. Yeah, well, I hear you, Cody. But it was the 70s version,
right? Yeah,
it wasn't really hot.
Just the rod.
It was a rod, though. It is a beautiful truck, though. They are beautiful trucks. If you ever see one, those and the Warlock, they made a black one called the Warlock, and they're really beautiful trucks, but they weren't all that fast.
So Vanessa said, "Don't forget you can eat snakes," but she don't have a lot of choice out there. So we got other things. Snakes is down the list of the stuff on the menu up here. So
again, it don't matter what you're eating. Wild game, no matter what you're eating, how many acres do you have? Right? If you have 10 acres, it will not take you long to hunt every squirrel, rabbit, snake, gopher, possum,
mice,
coon.
Rats.
It won't take that long. It will not take that long. You think it will, but once you start thinning that population, the rest of the population is going to go, where the hell did everybody go? We need to go. So they're going to move. So you're going to have to expand your zone further and further away from your base of operations. And that's fine if you're prepared for that, right? That's why we call ourselves preppers. We have to make a plan and prepare for that.
The thing is, like, I was thinking about coyotes too. And the thing is, like, our coyote population would be gone in a weekend. And then what? Like,
and here's another thing. If you're going to go out, the people are going to run out in the woods right away. That's going to be, after they figure out, the grid's not coming back or whatever. they're going to head to the woods, and that's going to be a war zone. Not only are they going to be taking out the game, but they're going to be taking out each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they say 90% won't last 12 months.
Yeah, we call those one-way hunting trips.
Yeah. No, if 90% is going to last 12 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the number I keep hearing. So
yeah, I think the 12 month I think is very optimistic.
Yeah, there's a book I'm reading right now that talks in depth about like hunting and hunting like mentality, and I was thinking about what he was reading or what he was writing, and my guess is like, because we're on a dead end road, what's going to happen is imagine hunters, imagine their families starving, yada yada blah blah blah, and they don't catch anything because there's nothing left. Well, they come back from their hunting trip, of course they go by your house, and like they're like, well, I got to come back with something. And like, let's say they already have like 5-6 friends. Like, what? Like, that's going to be the reality of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you see 6 people go, you have to plan on those 6 people wanting to make a pit stop on the way back. And I've seen it here tons of times. We already have poachers, so like,
oh yeah,
those people only don't hit the houses on the way back because they caught something. They're already doing things that are wildly illegal.
Yeah, we have,
and it's not even shit as a fan yet. So you think there's going to be some kind of honor system that they're not going to just hit every house on the way back until they get what they need?
Well, the honor system's going to last about 72 hours, and then it's going to go.
If you've created an honor system, if you've created a community amongst your
friends, I mean, for like the
then you've got a chance there, right?
Yeah.
You got a chance.
Okay.
But
it's not get down. Okay.
No, because what do? You have to have a roadblock, and you have to say, okay, if you guys are coming up this road, you leave all of your ammo with us, and you go up there with 5 rounds. And if you can't hunt and catch whatever you have in 5 rounds, then I don't know, you come back and get 5 more rounds, as long as we figured out you haven't killed anybody on the way.
Right.
Or some, like, I don't know how you would do that. And then they can get all their ammo when they leave. Because otherwise you're just going to get overran.
Yeah, it's going to be just like taking out your truck. You're going to have a security team with you. You got to have somebody to watch you. You're going to have to sell somebody along with an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Who can keep your 6 safe while you hunt.
Yeah.
And again, the bigger your hunting party, the less likely it is you're going to see any game.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the only way that you would ever assure that you had any game for anybody to catch anyway, is if you were able to control enough of the property to where you could say, like, there's not enough deer in this area, turn around. And you have to have enough people to actually get them to turn around. It's like, sorry, there's not enough deer here. We know there's deer. We heard there's deer. We flew a drone and there's deer. Okay, well, either you can turn around now, or we're just going to bury you in the ditch with everybody else. There's no sorry.
Yeah, you're going to be buzzard fodder.
Yeah, and we have buzzards. We have buzzards here too.
Or you're going on the truck.
Yeah, the Livingston van is here in 6 hours. And
right.
Put you in the Livingston van bait pile right over there. Yeah, I know, man, but. Roads and tracks will be full of traps and ambushes. Yeah, Camo Carl, you're 100% right. I mean, yeah, they would be. And the thing about, all right, cool, let's talk about that a second. So you know your area, and so you should be thinking about these things. Where would I put up an ambush? Where would I set the trap? And if you have to leave your base of operations, you need to have some intel on those places, right?
Well, here's like how that would go. And this isn't me disagreeing. This is a step further. Imagine you have the roadblock, and imagine there's 6 guys, and then you're like, oh yeah, we totally have deer, because they wouldn't take no for an answer. And then at the first L shape, you give the go no go. And all of a sudden, those 6 people turn into Swiss cheese in a kill zone. And then you're like, well, I tried to tell them.
Yeah.
Like, and they run into an L-shaped ambush, and they last about 5 seconds. And then you just add everything to the wall again. Like, you don't have to tell them no. you can invite them right on in. Like plans for this, like when this really starts to get medieval. Like, you don't know if people don't have like M240s or M60s or belt-fed grenade launchers,
right?
Or claymores. Like, everyone in the world thinks that like AR-15s are like or AKs are like the worst thing on the planet. But I tell you what, we've got 1,000 things here that are more deadly than an AR-15 and an AK, and they're everywhere.
A fucking claymore mine, and you believe me, you can manufacture a claymore mine in your own basement.
In Minecraft.
Even something as simple as tannerite.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, if you go up in the Amish country, them Amish love blowing things up with tannerite. They do. That's like, I don't know, that's their entertainment. So I went through there sometimes and I'm like, what is going on? Are they bombing Amish country? You know, it's just they're blowing up trees and stuff. So even something as simple as that, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, man, a claymore mine is one of the most deadly things on a battlefield. I mean, and my God, you can wire them to where you can launch them. They'll self-launch. You man.
Yeah.
There are whole books out there about how to use claymore mines to make yourself very hard to get to. And
yeah, you can just take trees down with them if you want.
Like, yeah, there's a good point. Lamb, I got news for you. If you're in here, you're already on the list. So
Welcome to the list, sir.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Welcome to the list. That's
right. Yeah, we're all on the list. So,
yeah. Well, that's the good thing about when the grid goes down. They can have all the fucking lists they want. They won't know what to do with them because they won't be able to turn their damn laptop on to figure out if you need to come to my house or not. So
yeah, well, you really have two options. You either just embrace that the FBI is listening to you all the time, and then just try to, or you just be as gross as you can be, and so they want to quit.
Yeah,
that's just like those are your two options.
It's so funny. You know, back a few years ago when they were talking about these new smart TVs and shit. You know, listening while you were watching TV or even while they were off, right? And I remember my wife and I had a discussion. I was like, you know, the poor son of a bitch whose job it is to watch me is probably thinking about killing himself because I'm the boringest son of a bitch he's ever had to watch. I'm sure he is like, man, dude, I would do anything for a different guy to look at, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, here he comes again in his underwear. Holy moly. You know?
Well, speaking of that, I seen they extended the Surveillance Act till the end of the month. They're not done watching us yet. Not that they'll ever be done watching us.
The Patriot Act screwed us in the bottom.
Oh, it did. Yeah, definitely.
Day one, man. I mean, you know, again, you know, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah, the scariest sentence in the English language.
According to Ronald Reagan, it was. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm so dry.
I think the next scariest thing is going to be I'm here with the United Nations and I'm here.
Oh man,
yeah,
wow. Yeah, what a joke!
Because I've been trying to like think this through. Right, everyone's so scared of martial law. I think martial law is just so far over and done that it can't happen anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough. They can't extend their power enough, so it's going to have to be like United Nations or foreign troops or something.
Oh,
because
yeah, definitely.
So it's like, what's that? That is if, you know, Chinese shipping container drones don't wipe us all out.
Right. No. Yeah, no, you're right. No, that's 100%. You know, I mean, most of the personnel in the first responder industry across the whole United States are probably not going to obey that order to start with.
True.
Because they're all former military, they're all patriots, and they're just not going to follow that order. So yeah, you're right. They're going to have to outsource that particular thing.
Well, even the lockdowns. So back when we were probably a half an hour to an hour away from lockdowns with Emperor Inslee, he was still going to have to use the National Guard. Yep. But that was 6 years ago. Like, those National Guard don't exist anymore. And the ones that do, they aren't armed. They can't mobilize. You look at how many. So what? When you look in was it California, Los Angeles? Like, or you look at like Chicago, was it Chicago, Minneapolis? Like, they can't mobilize enough National Guard to hold the city block. Like,
right.
So they could have lockdowns, but it would have to be, it wouldn't even have to be 15-minute cities. It would have to be like bridges and stuff. Like, they could lock you down to a pretty big area, but it would be more like Escape from LA, or Escape from New York, or
no, you're right.
Like the First Purge, or like the Division. And that's why you hear a bunch of us talking about shout outs, Division buddies in the chat. It would be like that. It would be like 15-minute death zones.
Yeah. You're right. It would be. Well,
people would be praying for martial law, honestly. Like, at that point.
Make it work. And even at that point, man, when you go to locking down, look, the Antifa guys and hell, the Bloods and the Crips are more organized.
Oh yeah.
Than most police departments, right?
The street lockdown people are infinitely more organized.
Yeah.
The smash and grabbers at stores are more organized.
You're not going to hold those people, especially in a city block. You're not going to hold them.
Yeah, they'll run you. Oh yeah.
You know,
they'll hit you on one side with a distraction, and then they'll just bulldoze the other side. That's what they do here. Every time there's a riot, there'll be like a shooting call on one side of town, or there'll be a fire on one side of town. They'll go hit the other side of town every single time. And then everyone who tries to call 911 for hours gets code zeroed, or whatever it's called.
Damn, LLP, that's pretty dark. I like it, but it's pretty dark.
Yeah. Coming from Little Prepper, I was like,
that's pretty dark. I like the plan, though.
Yeah,
exactly.
See, me and Mark's met Little Prepper. So.
Yeah, she's something, man.
She's a trooper.
She's something. She is a lone. She's a lone wolf too, man. She's all about it. She's embraced it.
So that's. What do y'all think about the spontaneous combustion of all these warehouses and stuff?
I mean, it depends. It depends on which ones. Any one of them that could be turned into like ammo manufacturing, which is, I think, how a lot of this started. I think that's how our manufacturing is going to get crippled. And then as we go to more emergency manufacturing, wartime manufacturing, I think it's just going to get worse, because we already can't protect the grid.
Right.
There's no way that we're going to be able to protect the manufacturing, even if you mobilize the entire military and the entire National Guard. How are you going to protect every Ford plant, every Chevy plant, and every other plant that's going to make I don't know.
Yeah,
they're going to bank on the redneck employees taking care of themselves.
And Trump talked to the automakers last week about switching over and starting to make military equipment.
Yep. But we've already started losing. It was that place that just got the commission for the 155 shells, and they were like vaporized the next day. And I think that's, I don't know. I don't think our manufacturing would last. If when the war really starts, I don't think our manufacturing is going to last like 6 months, or even 6 weeks in some cases. Yeah. And then nobody's going to want to work.
Right.
Because you don't know if your facility is going to get taken out.
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
No.
And I don't know how you fix that. If I was in charge, I don't know what I would do about that.
Well, yeah. And again, but and that's in a total grid down SHTF, and look, and it's part of my prepping plan. I'm sure it's part of most of y'all's. Is trying to get a government up and running again. We need the civilization to protect the civilization.
Yeah.
So, it's like the chicken and the egg. I mean, we need them both. So, I think probably we all should be planning on being able to teach young folks how to read and do math and understanding the basics of government. Because we don't want that to die just because of a grid down collapse,
Yeah. But, Chance got a good point. They may go to mandatory, it might be like a work camp. They might just round everybody up and say, listen, manufacturing's dead, but we still need this stuff. So you're going to work. We're going to lock you in there and you're going to, right. Exactly.
It's exactly what they do in China.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
they got bars on the windows so the employees don't jump out the windows.
Those are just happy nets because people like to play on the trampoline during lunch. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what the CCP says, and that's what I'm going with. So I think, but even those work camps are like pretty crazy because I've had, dealings with Mexico manufacturing. You run into so many problems. There's so many ways to infiltrate them. And if you can get a hold of somebody's family, you can convert the people inside. And it doesn't take much for like all the microchips to go missing, right? And you might think, oh, you'd have to subvert an entire security team. Boy, howdy, let me tell you, not hard. You can subvert, especially because they're not going to get paid jack shit.
Right.
And I think UK is going to have the same problem where like the only reason the UK police have turned against their own citizens is because the only people that have money left are in control of them. Right. So all it takes here to convert a security team is to convince them that the currency that you're going to give them is going to be worth more than whatever the currency is they're paying.
Yeah, which you said, probably isn't going to be hard. So
it's going to be impossible because back to what I said earlier, our currency isn't going to survive another war. If we can't enforce the petrodollar, which obviously we can't pay our own people. We can't buy our own stuff. We can't pay our own people, so we can't secure our own supply chain. Are you going to say, is everyone going to manufacture this shit for shits and giggles or because of patriotism or fighting another sand war that nobody wants? Like that's gone. So how do you convince people to work to make shells or chips or whatever if you don't have a currency anymore and if you don't have food anymore? You can't.
Right.
And I don't know how we as a country, if I was in charge, I don't know how I would overcome that. But give them all free Wi-Fi to what?
Yeah. Yeah, really.
And do you know what the real answer is you would have to make them all work at gunpoint. That's it.
Yeah.
And so what kind of force could force all of us and all of our kids and everybody else, force them to make 155 shells at gunpoint? Like, would our own military do that? No, because our own military would be gone. It'd be PMCs or foreign agents, or what if we can get their robots, which would be really annoying if the robots were holding us at gunpoint and making us manufacture things. But I feel like that's the kind of shitty future. Like, you're a robot, you make it. No. What? Stupid clankers.
Yeah, and CUCB Farmer, that's what I'm worried about with the whole UBI thing. Is they're going to tell you, okay, your shitty job ain't paying you enough to live now.
Yeah.
So they're gonna enact this universal basic income, which is probably going to work like Social Security. So instead of making $4,000 a month, they're going to give you $1,200 or whatever. But you're still going to have to go to work
based on your.
Because that's going to be a requirement. Only now your job's not going to pay anything, $0 an hour. Because you get UBI, but this is a requirement of that. So I'm kind of concerned about that myself.
And you can only spend it at the state store or the government store.
Yep.
And if you don't spend it, you lose it anyway.
Yep.
And they force you to buy into like a broken system that just crumbles.
Yeah.
And somebody, I can't remember whose comments it was. They said, oh, just wait till, you have to show your ID to get into a grocery store. I'm like, well, first of all, quite frankly, I'm surprised that hasn't already happened.
Yeah, me too.
In a lot of places, you do have to show an ID because you have to show that you're over 18, first of all. I can't remember if it was Walmart or Target or something, but they were making people show their driver's licenses when they came in. But we're only at a year or two max before the grocery stores are actually just locked up. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already.
Well, there's a lot of Walmarts around the country that by the end of the year are going to delivery only.
Yes.
You're not going to be actually able to go to the store and pick your own stuff out. You're just going to order it on your phone and they're going to drop it off at the door.
Right. So,
yeah. Or you'll have to pick it up in the parking lot, and the parking lots are going to be a freaking war zone.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, OVP, our hour is up, baby.
Oh, yeah, we actually went over. We could have done 2 hours tonight. Well, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Chance, thanks for coming on. We always have such a great conversation when you're on here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know it. No problem.
Next week, we are on Mark's channel.
Yep.
So we will be on Mark's channel next Sunday at 8 p.m. I'll start off with the last words, and then we'll go to Mark, and then we'll give Chance a chance to top it off for the night. And hey, guys, I just listened that we haven't seen the blowback from this thing over in the Middle East yet. The last ships that left port before this all started came in this week. Okay, so give it another couple of weeks or a month, and there's going to be some issues. So if you can stock up on anything, I mean anything, go do it now. Go do it right now, this week. And so just keep doing the things, guys. No kitties on the computer. So, Mark, what you got for us?
Well, tell the ones you love that you love them. Make yourself a handyman. And look, don't panic. Don't let fear rule your life. We might have let fear get us into prepping, but we're prepared. And if you're not prepared, figure out what you need to do and keep living without fear. So thank you guys for showing up. Chance, take it away, baby.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate y'all. I always love being on the show, and you guys are awesome. If you go to church, patrol your church before it starts.
Yeah.
I was telling the guys before the show, we found 2 bar end chains from chainsaws outside the church. That's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Patrol your churches before the kids get their hands on everything. Don't pick it up with your hands. Use gloves. Use grabby claws. And I threw my link for my book down in the chat. If everyone could leave a review to Bunker Basics, please leave a review for Bunker Basics. That's my book. Yes. And I'm up to 20 reviews. I want to try to get a couple more reviews. And the spring edition's out, and some people say it's pretty good. So
right on, guys. Yep. Check that out. Thanks everybody for stopping by. We'll see you next week.
Well, bye.